Part two. Welcome back to the Honorary Latina. I am feeling especially honorary today. I recently have been watching a new series on Netflix, and because I have this like difficult learning disability, I can't remember the name. Bill, what was the name of that series?
Versailles.
Versailles. Okay. See, I was going to say it wrong, or I was going to mispronounce and butcher it. It's because of my syntax. Anyway, this was really interesting because it was of Louis was it the 14th?
One of them.
Well, one of those guys, because I can't read my Roman numerals either. I guess I'm so dumb like that. It's my syntax. But anyway, it was really a great depiction of how things were back in times, and really I really encourage all you guys to watch these royal idiots, because it's very much what was back then, much into the now. The symbolism, the structure of their political system, and the way they brainwashed the little sheeple to like accept their eager little lots to work for the monarchs, and the way they poisoned each other was just unbelievable. It kind of reminds me of ALS that has no cure and no yeah, I mean, what a perfect disease that is. Like, oh gosh, we don't know why they died. Their motor neurons just got cut off and didn't receive messages to the rest of the body. But gosh, we can't figure out why our veterans are coming back with motor neuron disease. Of course, you know, they're all vaccinated before they go into the Middle East for God knows what. So anyway, and vaccination is another name for poisoning as well. Some of the things they're doing are just unbelievable. But this is all an experimentation, you guys. And if you think the modern medicine is a cure for disease, and back in the days they used to use herbs and came, you know, and actually helped people. And now we call that witchcraft, and you know, you're a quack if you practice that, and then we're going to give you some chemical drugs that are going to really fuck your shit up even a lot worse. But guess who is in the back of that all money making machine? Big pharmaceutical companies, and they really love the heroin trade in other countries, because they love to get the people addicted to oxycodone and other drugs as well that will really mess them up, and to deal with their pain. Anyway, my point was that they had this procedure back in the day, and how to deal with traitors. It was called drawn and quarter, and I'll tell you, it was so barbaric, because the innocent people that didn't really deserve this were treated by the monarchs. But boy, you know, I would like to draw and quarter a few people myself. I mean, you know, we got all emotional because they waterboarded a few ISIS terrorists, and Guan, what was that? How do you say that word again? Okay, he's trying to whisper to me, and like it's jumbling in my head.
Guantanamo.
Thank you. You know, can you see me reading the teleprompter? I'm like, I can't read that word. Anyway, and it's not because I'm stupid. It's because I have a auditory processing issue and dyslexia, and so does my dad and my mom. Both my dad is ADD or whatever, ADHD, and my mom was dyslexic, and both of them were really brilliant. My mom especially brilliant. She was really a piece of work. Anyway, back to point. So this barbaric procedure was banned, but the royals are like behind. You know, we can't waterboard the terrorists, you know. But then meanwhile, they're sitting there like blowing their shit up in England and France and wherever. You know, it's fine if they want to blow themselves up in their own country, but you know, just don't do it here. You know, because we really don't we really don't care that you want to die and see 101 virgins in heaven. Anybody to believe that should just be shot instantly, because that's an ultimate sign of real stupidity. If you believe that you want to die and go to heaven and you'll have all these virgins, I mean, like, really, seriously, like, I mean, even when I was a little girl and people say, oh, you're going to die and go to heaven and heaven's going to be great and God made you, I was like, why? You know, that doesn't make sense, you know. And I argued. Now, as somebody with some sort of rationale, you think that death is going to be better than living? I mean, it depends on your circumstances. If you ask the monarch who are sitting on their fat, lazy asses if they want to live or die, I'm thinking they're perfectly content with things on earth, you know. I guess if your life was really bad and you were a Muslim and you had to wear that black burqa, I mean, maybe you'd want to die and be the virgin in heaven. I don't think you would. You know, this twisted ideology, where does it come from? And I tell you, you watch the Monarch series and they're like, whoa, like they're in, the Catholic Church was so corrupt. They're like, well, you know, we can get the people to act a certain way and be a certain way and enforce some moral code. And meanwhile, they're sitting there having anal sex with, you know, and out in the open with whoever, you know, while they're married to a queen who is, by the way, they're betting, you know, everybody in the court. And they're writing the books on moral codes, and I'm just like, and it's no wonder people like plotted to kill them. So anyway, it was strange, and it's still happening, and they really care about what we think of them and their little fakeness and their fake boobs. I'm on these royal websites, and you know, they have these women that like have these skinny little waists, and I'm sitting here with my little sweat belt on, and I'm ready to go work out and spin for an hour, you know, and I spin my heart out, and that stomach is still there, but I have my little sweat belt on today. There's these women with these little teeny tiny waists and these really big boobs and these little fake lips, and the faces are like, you know, and this is all a part of their little reality. Although the men that have all that money all look like shit. I mean, they do. And you know, it's just kind of this different standard, you know, for a woman and for a man. But you know, really, who are the freaking royals to write the code to live by? And all this community service they so-called do is socialism, because the English royals get their money from the people. And so the way they made their money, let's talk about how they made their money. They raped, plumaged, and stole, kind of like the Kennedy family and the Bush family, you know, in the most corruptest of ways came about their fortune. And so people worship these people. Oh God, if you say anything bad, you know, oh God, you know, that would be awful. And so you know, the whole idea, you know, that we come to America and start over so we don't have to pay any taxes. You know, we were taxed to death, and here we are, you know, trillions of dollars in debt and money going overseas to all these global causes and these global foreign countries, and God knows what they're doing with our money. And some of the money that is going to places that want to do us harm. And so it is so refreshing to get somebody that knows a little bit about money management, you know, and it's not going to be, you know, Goldman Sachs and all those people, you know, are not going to funnel money so that it could be in the Queen's basement, you know, so she can breed future generations of fucking assholes. And I really don't like Prince Charles at all. I think he is a freaking homo. You know, I'm sure that anybody to marry that Camellia Bowles, you know, has to have like something wrong with him. You know, to trade Lady Diana for that piece of shit. I mean, like, maybe she's a royal, but I just think she's fugly no matter what you put on her. She's absolutely horrid and has no personality whatsoever. And she looks like she smokes, because she's just got that smoker look about her. You know, when I think of her, I think about white trash, you know, and nobody ever talks about the fact that, like, she was sitting there sleeping around with Prince Charles, but I really have a hard time believing that they were romantic. You know, I you know, can see him, like, molesting, like, little orphans and stuff like all the other royals do. And you don't want to get me started, because we have some American royals that do that. We want to look at the Franklin files. Then fuck you. you don't like what I'm saying. Oh, goodness. It's Sunday. It's the day of prayer. We ought to pray for those pedophiles. Anyway, and how they suppressed the media. It was just amazing. Yeah. Barney Frank. Was that really his name? All right, guys, I'm going to wrap this up because Will is dying behind this camera. Bye. Have a great day.